Happy Saturday, uranium friends. Rainy Saturday here in New York gives me some chances to look at some charts and maybe make some videos. Let's check in some Australian names. So, Bannerman weekly chart. What stands out, right? So, great move. Now it's got to look for a weekly higher low as opposed to buck 44 on the Aussie exchange. The most likely scenario is yes, a higher low compared to this level. So, Bannerin has me a little interested at the moment. I do hold a position. I like to add. I can't use my normal style that I do with the Australian names because they are not DTC eligible, and it's much. The trading fees are ridiculous. So, uh, when I do position up, I try to take some size. Bannerman on this weekly, great bounce, looks really good, but, it just confirmed a weekly downtrend, believe it or not. And it's coming in off some, hot RSI, so it makes a little bit of sense. But weekly downtrend, no follow through. So, it broke this weekly low here and there's no follow through and it got bought up. So when I see this, I want to look at the daily and just get an idea as to what might have gone on. So really good here, right? Filled this gap. Like to see that. Daily downtrend confirmed. Again, no follow through. And it's just made its way through these moving averages. But yes, there's a range here, right? And it's range bound. So we got to see, is it going to take out this level right here, right? So 275, and it's pressing up against it. So Bannerman, looks good for a little bit of a continuation move after cooling off its RSI. It had some RSI divergence, right? You can see it there. Let me just show you what the divergences look like. I'm sure people already know, right? But that's what these divergences look like. It's gotten past it. It's gotten through it. The divergence. So sometimes when you get these divergences, they like to clean themselves up a little bit, which it has done. So Bannerman, big test coming up this week. Let's see if it can get through and have a daily downtrend with no follow through, which is always a sign, right? So when you see a break of a range with no follow through, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It has me looking the other way. Bannerman is just in that camp right now for me. So deep yellow on the weekly, what a great move, right? But where is the consolidation? There isn't, right? So Bannerman just went through the consolidation. And it has yet to confirm whether it's going to continue on or leg up. So, same deal here, right? And it's, this is a key level that it's fighting, a very recent high. And if we just zoom out a little bit more, we can see what the story is with deep yellows. So, the move here is fine. It's healthy. It's a 0.382 retracement that it's tapped off of, but it needs weekly consolidation. So, unlike like Bannerman, I might be slightly interested in here, right? Because it had a little bit of consolidation. And now it's confirmed, it's had some downtrends, some breaks, but with no follow through, right? DPL hasn't done that yet. So in that respect, Bannerman might be leading the way. Let's just take a look at the daily. Yeah, it's a great move, right? So is this it on Deep Yellow? Maybe. So it did get. We had a chance to cool the RSI here. So again, range bound, and we're going to have an answer pretty soon. So Deep Yellow doesn't have me as interested as Bannerman at the moment. I'd rather see some consolidation, but look at the volume on these past bunch of days. So, it's got some good volume there. So DPO looking good. I would prefer to see personally some weekly consolidation, even at least to the 50-day and the 12 EMA here. But everything looks okay except that, this is not, I don't make entries into these types of conditions. Okay. So if I made an entry here into these types of conditions, right, probably would have worked out pretty good, but I just don't do it. It's the key levels up here that are being tested with very little consolidation since like July, August. So, in my opinion, I'd rather wait for consolidation. And again, I have a position in deep yellow. I wouldn't mind adding to it. And the only way I would add to it is if I'm confident, because again, it's cost restrictive for me to do the ASX. So, yeah, and I would come in with size. What else do I want to look at? Paladin, another good move, right? So, and now this is seeing some weekly consolidation. So, Bannerman and Paladin have seen some weekly consolidation. Um, Deep Yellow hasn't. So, for you Australian guys that can trade on the ASX, these are these are things, little things that we keep in mind. But this is good weekly consolidation, right to the 50-day and the 12 EMA, and maybe that's kind of what we're looking for Deep Yellow to do. So you can get these little clues from the majors on the ASX. So yeah, this is good, healthy consolidation. It's cooling off the RSI. You zoom into the daily, and yeah, it's confirmed a daily uptrend now, right? So we have a daily uptrend reversal here, and it's just going to end up fighting this moving averages here. But if it gets through, it's a good sign. So, I like the weekly consolidation here better than Deep Yellow because Deep Yellow just really hasn't had it. Silex, Silex is still in a weekly downtrend, regardless of what anybody thinks of. Listen, I have a position here in the on the Australian exchange, actually, in Aussie dollars, and I'm just kind of I got this. I caught this run, and I definitely sold some in here. I sold half of my position. I will reload Silex, but it probably wouldn't be until something happens down here. But it's in a weekly downtrend, and no signs of that changing yet. It does look like we've got enough room for the higher low, and that is set now because of this. But you see these wicks like this with the volume, and it's there's no follow through on this change here. So low, high, higher low, looking for the higher high. Uh, all eyes on this level now, 304, right? 305. So that's Silex. Again, position, not interested in adding at the moment. I will add on major weakness if the fundamentals of this haven't changed any. So, time will tell. Peninsula, yeah, UEC did a number on these guys, right? So, the Peninsula on the weekly, this is starting to look like a reversal is forming here, right? So, UEC news, all that stuff that kind of pushed this thing down. It's set a level now down here at 8.086, right? Double bottom. So it becomes a pretty good level if you zoom out a little bit. I mean, this thing is again, look at the life of the stock on this bad boy. So there's potential for if you get these big runs, I guess. But there's been a lot of dilution, I'm sure, along the way. But the volume has come back in here at least. So there's buyers. There's buyers here, right? This capitulatory move here. There's buyers here. Um, but we still have yet to confirm a weekly trend change here, right? So we're still going to be looking for a weekly higher low as compared to this 0.086, and there's plenty of room to do so. Last week, this is a great sign, right? You got the buyers coming in. Every week we have some buyers coming in, but it's still stair stepping down. So every week for the past 4 weeks, it's just been a lower high every week. So we're going to need that to change also, but a little bit better sign. And the daily, I mean, this is a problem. This is the problem with Peninsula. I mean, there's nobody in it. This is all very algorithmic, so it's kind of just doing its thing. I do have a position here as well, and it's an underwater position. Again, I sometimes I'll do things with. I'll manage my risk with position size. This is just one of those spots, right? My position size isn't that big. Um, if the uranium market in general gets a great run and all tides lift the boats, the small position which is, my cost basis is absolutely down here. Even if I get up to this fib extension, I'm looking at, 10 or 20x, who knows, so we see how it plays out. But again, small position, I don't really, it's not really affecting me either way. Um, just I'm not going to be an adder here on this one. Um, I'm just going to let it sit. That's basically what I'm doing. So Sweden has come into the conversation multiple times. So Aura Energy, and there is a guy who loves this company, Cycle Bottoms, I think he is on Twitter. You can check him out, but anybody can say whatever they want. I mean, Aura is just it's like impossible for me to even play this name. Um, there's just no liquidity whatsoever. So, like if I want to come in with any amount of size, I mean, it's just gonna it's not going to be any good. So I just won't. But this is a little, it's on this monthly chart. It's creating a base here, right? So everything is defined for the trader or whoever or the investor when they know they might be wrong if 14 cents breaks down, and this is just a huge gap to get filled. This is just pure sideways action on this thing, and it gets whipped around with the news and whatnot. So again, I would like to actually take a speculative shot at this thing, but I can't. I just can't. Boss Energy, a darling of the space, if you ask me. Blue skies breakout. I wish I had. I had a position and I did sell. I think I actually sold it somewhere up here. So, again, re-entry for me is difficult. So, this is just one of those. Listen, I took my money, I got it. If I get a good shot at it again, where I can come in with a little size, maybe I'll take a shot at it. But for now, it's nothing for me. Consolidating, right? So, Bannerman, Paladin, they all have this look. Deep Yellow does not. So, does Deep Yellow need to consolidate first, like all the other names are doing at the majors on the ASX, or does Deep Yellow continue? We'll see. I mean, my opinion is I would think personally that Deep Yellow is probably going to need some consolidation, like the rest of these names did, and this could go down further. Uh, it's still making new lows and lower highs for the past 4 weeks. Looks good though. So when I look at these weeklies, I notice all the ASX names are exactly the same. The 50-day and the weekly 12 EMA are in the same spot, and it's turns into good moving average support. It's a good guide, right? So here's your daily, and the daily still has yet to confirm a reversal, right? So what this daily is going to need to do, for someone to have more confidence, is it gets its move, whatever it is, pulls back. There's enough space now for a daily higher low. All right, gets the daily higher low set, changes the trend up. That's what we're looking for. That's what I'm looking for, at least in just about all these ASX names. So Boss looks good too, right? So uh, and it's through this 12 EMA. But there's no follow through yet. So that's what I would be looking for here is a daily trend change confirmation. Otherwise, weekly consolidation will continue. So big level is this level right here. Let's move this alert up there. This is your big level to be watching on Boss. Everybody loves their honeymoon project, right? So good stuff. That is all right. Let's take a look at Lotus. Another dog, right? I wonder who's pushing everybody into this, huh? Anyway, um, you know, not horrible, right? But weekly downtrend has been confirmed, and now it looks like it's starting to try to make a reversal here. So, there's a new high up here. It's searching for its higher low as opposed to, let's just say for all intents and purposes, 17 cents. A good wick there this week. Let's see what the daily looks like. Yeah, so the daily, it's so choppy. I mean, someone, you could say that this is a confirmed daily trend change with no follow through at the moment, right? So it's the low, the high, the higher low, the higher high here. Now we're looking to see what happens here. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it on Lotus. I have a position here. It sits in the same category for me as Peninsula. I'm not adding. I'm not selling. If there is the big uranium run that all of the speculative experts out there are calling for, you know, maybe it gets up to 60 cents or whatever, and I'd be a pretty happy guy on that, right? So that's the deal with these names that are of any significance to me. You Australian guys, if you think there's a name that needs more attention, just give me a heads up and we'll take it from there. Over and out.